everyone. It is a rainy day here in Massachusetts, but we have a very summery, very sunny collection from Dior. I didn't pick up all of the pieces. I picked up most of them though. I'll get into everything that I bought and explain why I didn't pick up certain items. So the number one thing, the eyeshadow. This is the eyeshadow Quint in 654 Coral Riviera. The embossing, which you'll see in the pictures, has been pretty much destroyed, and I knew that was going to happen. It is very beautiful. It is very pretty. I like what they did with the embossing, but again, it's just a gold overspray, so that's going to disappear as soon as you use it. There is a former Quint called Riviera from Dior. It is not the same color story at all. Very, very different. And I feel like there was one called Coral Riviera, but I don't seem to have it. So either I'm imagining it or I put it somewhere that I don't know where it is, which doesn't make sense because I did everything by color. So if it was orange, I would have found it. But anyway, just wanted to mention that the other Riviera is a different color story. So when you look at the Quint, this is obviously the warm one. There's also a pink one. I did not pick up the pink. I just picked up the coral. I just picked up the warm one because the Dior Quints in general have been hit or miss for me once they changed the formula a couple years back. In 2020, they came out with a new formula that had the pine oil and the aloe, and I absolutely loved it and bought like every single Quint they had. And then somewhere 2 years ago, they started changing the formula and they came up with like different types of formulas. They had velvets, and some of them have been quite good and I've really liked them, but they never captured again the same softness, the quality that I think they had when they changed it in 2020. So I decided I was just gonna pick up the warm one and leave it at that. I do think that if you like, you know, the cooler color story, the pink one, I don't think it's going to be, I hope it's not going to be different in formula. It is still a 6-month shelf life. That is the same 7 grams of product, 0.24 ounces. It says long wear creamy powder palette. A high color eyeshadow wardrobe. I think it's interesting that they're starting to use the word wardrobe. But anyway, this is limited edition. It does say that specifically on the packaging. And again, with the design, you can see that it has the limited edition design on it. Then I picked up the Forever Glow Luminizer. This is a spectacular highlighting powder, long wear, infused with hyaluronic acid. And this is the Coral Glow, again, limited edition. I think there was just Coral Glow. I didn't see another option. Again, maybe I've missed it, but I didn't see it. This is the packaging, and you'll see an up close of the packaging in a moment, but it has this pink design on the front of it. And then you'll see, you know, up close of the highlighter. Now, there actually have been several versions of coral highlighters that Dior has done. I pulled out the holiday one, which was a Coral Lumiere, and I actually have swatches of them compared to one another, but they are very different. This one is much more orange. It is definitely a deeper color story, and for me, blush. Like, this is not a highlighter, whereas this one can be a highlighter for me. The new version is definitely a highlighting blush. We'll get into the details, but you can see the properties in the close-up picture and video better than you can see here in front of you. And then there were bronzers available called Bronze Glow that have the same pink packaging, also limited edition, in coral bronze and pink bronze. They are temporarily unavailable. You can join the waiting list if you want to buy them. And it says, don't worry, this product will be back in stock very soon. So I'm guessing that there was just a limited amount and, you know, they're making more. The thing is though, when I looked at it, it was available, but I chose not to buy them because I have many of the limited edition bronzers from Dior, including this one, which is the Dior Forever Coral Bronze. And this was limited edition as well. This is the packaging that this was in. This is the bronzer. And I put it on my face today. And again, when I get into each one of these, I will show you me putting it on. And then I have the regular, quote, bronzer in tan bronze. And we're going to talk a little bit about this versus the new bronzers that have come out. So I was like, I have the coral bronze. It's probably different because the coral glow is different than the other coral luminizer, but will it be that different? And do I need it? No. And so for purposes of comparisons, if you really want to see it compared to the old one, I will certainly do that. But it just seemed too repetitive at this point. I was just like, okay, this is, you know, these aren't inexpensive products, and I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. On my eyes is the new Giorgio Armani Vertigo Lift. And I actually was just talking about this on my members live on Saturday. And whenever this goes up, so it was set in case this goes up and you're listening to it, watching it much later, Saturday, April 5th, 2025. And so it's interesting because they sent this to me. So thank you so much, Armani, for sending this to me. And again, we'll get into the specifics of how it looks and how it wears, but it was just, it was great timing because we were just talking about how I'd be interested in trying it out. So let's talk about the collection as a whole. So this is the Summer Glowy Limited Edition collection, right? So the whole collection is supposed to be this essence of summer on the French Riviera. So that's the idea, right? So it's all sun-kissed and sparkly and shiny and, you know, and bright, which I think it is. So that it captures that. I'm, you know, not disagreeing with that. But I feel like it's still very iterative of other collections that Dior has done. I don't like other summer collections, which were Riviera type, like the old Riviera. So the colors these are oranges and golds. It's very pretty. I feel like I already have this somewhere in my collection, probably just somewhere in my Dior collection. There is one product that's a standout that I actually haven't mentioned yet, which I'll get to. But it's really nice. And if you don't have any of these products, like if you don't have these colors, you don't have any of the previous bronzers, blushes, highlighters, then I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, you know, this would be a good collection. Overall, I think it's done well, and I think the formulas are good. I just think Dior seems to be doing the same color stories over and over and over and over again. So let's start with the Dior Forever Glow Luminizer highlighting powder, because this, as I showed you, is very different than the previous one, the one that came out for the holidays. This one has the House Hallmark Toit de Joie motif on the compact, right? And it's also on the powder, and you'll see that in the close-up, but you can just, you know, see the design on the actual powder itself. Again, it's embossed, so it's going to disappear as you use it, but it's very pretty. If you're going to pay for packaging, you should pay for packaging. The shade, the coral shade, it says the highlighter reveals a stunning glow in our new limited edition duochrome coral shade 004. So my understanding is this is the only shade available, but it is a duochrome. And the way that shows up on my face and in the swatch, and again, I'll have this like zoom in a little bit, is sparkly. It is very sparkly. To me, it looks like glitter. I'm not saying there's glitter in here, because if it is, it's incredibly finely milled, but it does look like sparkly glitter on my face. That's not necessarily bad. It's just, be aware of that. So yeah, just be aware of it. You can see me putting it on my face. I think it's very pretty, and I don't believe the previous versions of this were a duochrome. I don't remember that. And, you know, other people out there, let me know if I'm completely wrong. Yeah, I don't remember that. And I don't remember them saying specifically that they were infused with hyaluronic acid. The luminizer from the holiday, I have the packaging, it says intense highlighting powder, long wear, and comfort. But it doesn't call out hyaluronic acid. There might be hyaluronic acid in here, but it doesn't call it out. So that is seemingly a difference. There is squalene in the previous version, but I don't see hyaluronic acid. I could be missing it. It's possible. It does happen. So that, I think, is the major difference in this product. It does sink into the skin. It does feel very nice on the skin. It blends really well. And even with the sparkle, it doesn't over accentuate pores, which is, I think it's a pretty big deal considering that there's this duochrome sparkle on your face. And at least for me, it doesn't age my skin. So I would think that is a pretty good feat for something that is a sparkly highlighter. My hat's off to Dior for that. And so if you're considering buying this and you have other highlighters from Dior before, I would say, again, duochrome, that's going to make it different. And the hyaluronic acid, that's a new touch from Dior. The Bronze Glow limited edition, again, bronzers in coral bronze and pink bronze, I do not have, so I can't compare them. But what I would say is, according to the description, of course, they have the Tour de Joie motif on the compact and powder, so you have that. But it says each colorway is made up of 4 radiant shades: a satiny bronzer, a matte sculpting shade, a vibrant blush, and a glowing gold highlighter. So the bronzer would be different in that aspect, because my Summer bronzer here does have the bronze in it, and it does have the pink, which is the blush, but it's not going to have 4 shades. I believe there are maybe 3, maybe 2. Depends on, you know, I'm not absolutely sure. So, because I don't have the packaging for that one, so I can't tell you. But what I would say is those sold out first, which I think is really interesting. So there's something, whether they didn't have as much available from the beginning, or maybe that's just what folks are looking for. You know, they're out of stock. The fact that it has these 4 different types of shades in it, a satin bronzer, a matte sculpting, a vibrant blush, and a glowing gold highlighter, to me makes it an odd product, because I don't want a matte sculpting shade and a satiny bronzer together. If I'm going to use a satiny bronzer, it's going to be here. A sculpting shade is going to be here. A vibrant blush is going to be here. And a highlighter is going to be here. I don't necessarily want it all in one shade together, because I don't know where I'd put it. Again, that could just be me. But yeah, I don't actually love that. So anyway, that's what that is. And I don't have it. So, and I'm probably not going to pick it up unless you guys really, really want it. In regards to the bronzers that came out before this, which again, there's been that's why I'm kind of confused, like what they're doing, because, and it's all seemingly the same, because they also came out with bronzers, new bronzers with the brown packaging, Dior Forever Nude Bronze, and they have it in 8 shades. And this actually did look interesting to me, and I was thinking about picking one up. They don't have them at Sephora. They have the oversized at Sephora. So yeah, so I know that's weird. But anyway, the 8 shades are matte and radiant glowy, so 4 of each. And they have a shade called Soft, 03 Soft. And you can get it in matte or radiant. And so I was like, well, that might be kind of interesting. I might try that because that looks like light. It looks a little bit too yellow to me, but the soft, I was like, oh, that actually looks like something I might want. And so I might still pick that up when the new Dior comes out later. There are new packaging. It's like a matte packaging. And there's like 4 different colorways that are coming out. And that I might purchase. So the oversized ones though, that are at Sephora, it's 01, 02, 0, no, 0, 10, it's 10, 10, 20, 30, and 40. I think something like that. But one of the oversized shades is Tan. Tan is the shade that I have in the old Dior Forever natural bronzer, that 04 Tan Bronze. This is a great shade. I use it all the time. Today I kind of used it as a little bit of a contour bronze because it's a little bit cooler than the coral bronze that came out in limited edition, I believe, for like the last summer. So, and it looked very similar to the oversized one that is now at Sephora. And unfortunately, I don't have a Dior person that I can really ask. I have Chanel people, I have Guerlain people, Tom Ford people. I don't have a Dior person. So I don't have a way to clarify that for you guys, but I think it's very confusing. And so I'm not exactly sure what to say there. The Dior Addicts, there are a bunch of new shades. I did pick up Rodeo, which is a really pretty shade. Let me show you what that one looks like. This is Dior Rodeo 426. This came out when the new bronzers came out. It's a great shade. I really like it. It's kind of an intense rosewood. That would be my best way of describing it. I really like it. I think it's a really, really pretty shade. It's right up my alley. So that's, the Addicts are always worth picking up. I have like more Addict lipsticks than I think I have of anything else. But anyway, so those are available. So that's the luminizer, the bronzer, which again, I don't have, the older bronzers, the Addict lipsticks. Now let's get to the eyeshadow. So the Dior 5 Colors Limited Edition eyeshadow. There are 2 shades, like there's 2 color stories, I should say. Coral Riviera and Pink Riviera. I have the Coral, and this is what it looks like. You'll see swatches, and you'll see the close-up of the video, and then I will show you putting it on. The way that this is described is that it's 2 limited edition multi-shade palettes. Pink Riviera is a bright pink and range of cool shades for a captivating look. Coral Riviera is a vibrant coral accompanied by warm tones for a luminous, defined look. I don't know what that means, defined versus captivating, but hey. Both have the Toit de Joie embossing that has been destroyed on the palette itself. And it says it's through luminous bronze pearlescent pigments in the powder. I don't know how far these things go down, but I can tell you after I've swatched and used the palette a couple of times, most of it is gone. So I don't know if the pearlescent is still like embedded lower than that or what, but anyway, I don't know. But it is very pretty, and it is very pearlescent, and it is very luminescent. And if you like coral, if you like orange, I mean, this is a great way to go. It's just that, you know, I don't think it's spectacular. I think it's very pretty. I do think the shades kind of blend a little bit into one another, and the brown shade in here really isn't deep enough to impact the overall look enough. And I feel like the light shade isn't light enough to do anything, and overall it kind of blends into just this orange. But it is very pretty. So, I mean, it looks very nice on the eye. negating that. I just feel like it kind of blends a little bit together into one orange shade. But you might like that. And it's a very pretty luminous orange shade. So, you know, I don't have an issue with it. The formula is nice, but again, I would have liked a little bit of a deeper brown and a little bit of a lighter gold. The thing is, when you see them swatched, they do look different. And then when you put them on the eye, they kind of meld. That happens. I mean, it's hard to have 5 distinct shades that will hold their own. The formula has to be excellent. There are some brands that do that better than others. Dior used to do it really well. Lately, like I said, it's a little bit more hit or miss. That's my take on it. The one thing I do want to call out though is the maximizer, this particular color. So this, and I thought it was going to be like this because I saw a swatch of it, is Garnet Fizz. This is definitely more pigmented than their average maximizer. And I love this shade. So I am going to buy another one of these. This is absolutely worth it if you're looking for a plumping, glossy, and you love the maximizers. This has a heck of a lot more pigment than practically any one that I've tried from Dior. However, it is more burny. There's more of a bite to this one. It reminds me a little bit more of the new Saint Laurent one. So those of you who are having problems with the Saint Laurent one, you know, I've heard that from some of my members and some of my subscribers and some of you out there that, and just in general on social media, that the Saint Laurent makes your lips red and irritated. This might do the same because it does feel stronger than the previous ones. Now, I don't know if it's the other shades because I did not pick up the other shades. I just picked up Garnet Fizz. I don't know if it's because Garnet Fizz has more pigment in it and so they put something else in it, or they're all like that. Maybe they changed the formula. I don't know. So just be aware of that. This particular one is definitely more pigmented. You'll see, you know, from the swatch as well, but it's a little bit more burny. I really like it. I think it looks great and I can handle the tingling sensation, but there is a chance that it might bother your lips. So, but I love the color and I love the way it looks. The mascara, the Armani mascara. So you can see the lash. This is a very pokey mascara. It has the very sharp little plastic combs on it. And it says an extreme buildable length and clean volume formula mascara. And so that generally means that you have a mascara that is wet enough so that you can continuously build it without it drying out and like being too flaky. You'll see the up close of this, but also that you can hopefully, you can hopefully add to it without it being too stiff. And it does seem to let you do that, I will say. I haven't used it long enough to know if my lashes will stay this lifted, but it does seem to. It does seem to stay lifted. And it actually gives quite a bit of volume in addition to the lengthening. So I have to continue to use it. I have to see if it smudges more and I have to see if it flakes. I'm looking at a 10x mirror now. I haven't seen anything yet. But again, mascaras, you gotta test them out longer. But for those who are interested in a lengthening, lifting mascara, this has come up on some lives that I've done, this might be a really good option. Again, more to come, but so far so good. I also want to mention that I picked up the Bois Talisman perfume. This is the new perfume from Christian Dior. And I had heard that this wasn't particularly great. Like, you know, that it wasn't really worth it. I disagree. Personally. I love this and absolutely will buy this scent. This is, to me, fantastic. It's a vanilla a little bit woody, musky scent that is sweet. It is definitely sweet. There's no doubt. But I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think the critique of it may be that it is a little too sweet. Maybe that's the issue. Like, that's why people don't like it. But I love it. I mean, to me, it smells, the best way I can describe it is like a smoky sugar, which makes no sense, but that's what I get. Like, if you somehow had a sugar cube and some smoke and a vanilla stick. Yeah, that's what it smells like to me. I love it. I would buy a huge bottle of this. Like, that's how much I like this. And again, it's not going to be for everybody because it is sweet. Like, it's sweet, sweet. It smells like sugar. But a smoky sugar. But that's, you know, not everybody's into that. It's certainly not like a by the fireplace smells like a fireplace smoky. And this doesn't smell like that. This smells like sugar is, sounds weird, but sugar's on fire. Like, it is not the same scent at all. It's not a woody fireplace and traditional masculine. That's not it. It's just sugary and not caramel. It's not caramel, it's sugar. And I don't know the other way to say it because that really is what it is. Like, inhale a bag of sugar and there's some smokiness to it. And vanilla, definitely. But yeah, I absolutely love this. The minute I put it on, I was done. I was like, that's a Jennifer fragrance. But again, I like those types of fragrances. If you don't, this is definitely gonna. So I think that's what it was. I think people were expecting a woodier, maybe even more complex fragrance, and that's not this. But I happen to love it, so I'm just saying. So overall, this collection, yeah, it's a summery, glowy collection. It's very pretty. The packaging is my favorite thing about it. I don't know why it's pink, but it is. That I don't love. I wish it was blue, but whatever. The eyeshadow is very pretty, but I think it kind of blends, to be honest. I know I have a color story like this from Dior, if not from others. The bronzers sound interesting because there's 4 shades, but I don't want something that has a highlighter or a bronzer or a possible contour and a blush in it. It's not who I am. Sorry. The highlighter I do think is interesting and I do like it, but it's sparkly. There's definite sparkle. And for me, it's blush. It's too deep to be highlighter. And the maximizer is awesome, but it's stingy. Love the shade. I'm going to buy a backup. The Giorgio Armani mascara, if you're looking for a lifting, it's a really good mascara. I'm actually very impressed so far, but it is pokey. So if you're somebody who, like me, tends to poke your eye, you have to be more careful with this one, but I really do like it. But these are beginning phases. And the foundation. The perfume, to me, absolutely hit it out of the park. The perfume is the favorite part of this entire order. So again, Armani, thank you so much for sending me the mascara. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. I want to hear what you think about the collection. If you're picking it up, if you picked up the bronzers, what are your thoughts about the, you know, mix of all different things? Thanks so much for joining me. I really hope to see you again soon in another video.